Whoa, what's good with the YouTube and YouTube bust? It's your boy Triple Cup Chuck, and I'm up. And welcome to Up with a Cup in the Morning with Chuck, where I'm not responsible for the truth that you may or may not hear. This is Synergy. Let's do this. Second stimulus check is on its way. So if y'all don't know about the second stimulus check, that's why I'm just pushing it out there for the people that don't know about it, and for the people that's excited about it, and for the people that want to know more information about it. We're gonna go diving into that. We're gonna do jacking for topics, so check out some other people videos, see some other people opinions about the stimulus check, and have our own opinion about what we think that the stimulus check is going to bring to the table in this new proposal that Nancy Pelosi actually said that she approved, but it's less than the one that we had proposal way back. But the crazy before the election, right? But the crazy part about it, you ever seen the TV show? Which I can't remember what TV show it was, where they was doing some things, and then he was like, no, we're gonna wait and pull it back, and maybe we can get more for us. And everybody, yeah. Was it Bob Burger? I know what it was. It was Hoops. If you ever seen a TV show on Netflix, it's called Hoops, right? And they had the one part where they were doing some type of voting and politician and the union, right? That they was a part of, and he just jumped into the union just to get his way. And once he got his way, he was ready to hop out of it. But the thing about it was they had everything lined up for what the people been wanting, trying to get. And he did not. He didn't want to do that because that didn't benefit him. But then when it came to something that was going to actually just was going to benefit him, what he did was he took that, even though it was less than what the original thing that they was proposed at first, and everybody got mad at him about that. But he was like, same thing. What I'm thinking about what Nancy Pelosi is doing, right? I know y'all can see it. This is my chip cup. You know what I'm saying? Like for Rumpelstiltskin. If y'all ever seen Once Upon a Time, this is my chip cup version of Rumpelstiltskin on Once Upon a Time. But we gonna just go dive in on it, because I know there's a lot of people that be listening and be like kind of curious about what's going on with the stimulus check. So I'm sorry, I just gotta be me. Fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? That way I'm gonna be here forever and a day. Oh, with that, let me go ahead and get ready to start hitting y'all up with some of these jewels, right? And these jewels is gonna consist of like things that's gonna go on. And the first topic is stimulus. When I add a new topic, then I add to the title. Hey, it actually works out beneficially for me, you, and everybody else. Uh, with that being said, let me see if I'm just gonna double check onto mine and make sure that it's live, because some iron way, form, or fashion that mine. Oh, there you go. Just making sure that I'm live and everything going. Oh yeah, I know I need a haircut. Don't worry about it. I'm getting mine cut in the very near future. I mean, I go by a dentist with appointments and stuff like that. I mean, not a barber with appointments and stuff like that. So it's coming. I just want to kind of like get in between Christmas and right after Thanksgiving, so I won't be get a haircut too early before Christmas, and I don't want to wait to the last minute where everybody trying to get their haircuts. I have other stuff that's going on. And shout out to Southbound, you know what I'm saying? South had showed me some love, you know what I'm saying? I had a situation that was going on when with missed purchases on my Xbox account. It was from two shark cards, almost $100 a piece. Yeah, that hit me to the core, like, oh shit, what the hell? So I was able to get that situation straightened out. So it won't be. Well, I'm still in a mix of it. So South was I had hit up Tim Dog. I hit up South. Bone, Mr. 100. Check him out. If you don't know about Mr. 100, he talk about a lot of video games and topics like that. Cool dude. But at the same time, he like to push that button to make you like, yeah, hold on, But that's Bone, what I'm saying? It's very entertaining. If you like to be entertained, go rock out with the boy Bone and just say, hey, triple cup up, me, we, and all the good stuff there, right? So that's how we're gonna end up starting off. Excuse me, that was a nice little sip I just took. And with that being said, let me go ahead and put my picture on there, up with a cup in the morning with. Yeah, because I don't know, mine don't work the way it should work, and the way it should work, because when I put up a video, it don't let me change nothing to save nothing unless I do it a certain different type of way. So with that being said, I'm just gonna Just do it like this here, and once this here come in, boom. I think that should be. I think that's it right there, right? So now once that's up there, I'm gonna take this here, share, and put it on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? It's just one of those type of situations that goes on and stuff like that. So I ain't really trying to push too much or too much. So hold on for 1 second. It's just gonna be a quick tweet that I'm gonna push out there. Then we can get started with the politics and what's going on with our stimulus check. But yeah, the situation was, all right, I'm gonna give a shout out to Free Jake. You know what I'm saying? He'll do that. He just put about my situation. I was telling everybody, or I was just telling you about with my this order and purchase of these two shark cards on almost $100 a piece. So there's a person that's on Twitter. His name is Free Jake, FREEJAC. JAC is capitalized. You know what I'm saying? Check him out. He on Twitter. He do his thing. You know, cool dude. He got a I don't know if y'all can see it. Let me see if I can. Nope, y'all ain't gonna better see it. I ain't gonna waste my time since I know y'all ain't gonna better see it. But check him out. I'm gonna do a shout out to him. That way, y'all on my page or see me on my page. Y'all be like, oh, this who on Triple Cup was talking about. You know what I'm saying? Just to let them know, I'm giving you a shout out on my live YouTube video as I speak. Bam. See, that's done. See, that's how we rocking. But anyway, while this is going on, let's go ahead and get the diving into. Oh yeah, let me go ahead and this is what I might have to do. Share my screen. Once I share the screen, share Chuck screen share. My bad, y'all. Y'all know I got to get back into this rhythm. You know that groove where you just do. Yeah, I find my groove. It's getting there. I'm gonna find it though. Anyway, though, let's go ahead and get a diving. Donald J. Trump second stimulus check. Oh, another topic that I'm gonna talk about is they had this Joe Biden situation with Joe Biden and Pete Buttigieg. Now, anybody that's a fan of Pete Buttigieg or Pete Buttigieg himself, I'll just let him know I don't have nothing personally against him, right? But politicking, I do. We can still be cool, you know, have a drink, chill, or you know what I'm saying. I'm not that type of person, but when it comes down to how I feel about my opinion, I'm gonna base it. I don't care if it's Mike Tyson. You can put me in the room with Mike Tyson. And you see how when Boosie and Mo3 was up in there and they were talking with Mike Tyson, me and him, we going, yeah, what's that? I'm tight, yeah. You know, I has no feel like that. But at the same time, I know it's about a respect thing. Get it what I'm saying? Anyway, though, let's check out what they got. Jacking for topics, reaction to the stimulus check. Let's do this.
This morning about yet another coronavirus stimulus package to help the millions of struggling Americans. After months of back and forth, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell are closing in on the framework for a deal, one that could be passed before Christmas. Nancy Cordes has the latest from Capitol Hill.
All right, they talking about passing the second stimulus package. Now, this is a thing. So if y'all don't know about this, the stimulus package is two different things. They talking about relief, and you have a stimulus package. The stimulus package was one that time we got that $1,200. They still in talks. We don't have no second stimulus yet. So I don't want people to get it confused because it's not a stimulus check that we are getting. It's going to be what got passed was for like unemployment. They're gonna get like instead of last time I think it was 600, now they're going down to 400 or 300. I'm not 100% sure, but I know it's within that 4 and 300 range. And on top of that, the stimulus release checks that could help out the people is non-existent. And Nancy Pelosi, yeah, the woman that's sitting right there, she didn't want to do it with Donald Trump because it would have looked good in Donald Trump's favor. So she oppressed the American people of their natural living standards, as in when they need gas to go look for a job or go to work or go to shopping for bills, or you got your own company that you're working with. You might have got fired and still was like, okay, I can handle my own, and I'm gonna go work for Uber or Uber Lyft or with any of those types of delivery jobs. So now you're putting you and your family in risk 1,000 times because you're going to 1,000 different people just get back and forth just to make ends meet. Just because you're not able to work at the job that you was working at because the business is slowed down because they're not getting enough business in. Those types of things is what makes this so difficult. Now, the key thing is I'm a part of what Andrew Yang saying is the trickle up economy, not the trickle down economy, where you give all the money to the big businesses, they take it and do whatever they want to do, and they'll kind of give you if they want you to have something, right? Trickle up economy is when you give the money to the people and let them support the businesses that they want to support. So if it's a business they don't want to support, they don't have to support it. And if a big corporation goes out, the only thing that's going to happen, another one going to come in and take its place. They give the next person the opportunity to come in. But you don't want to hurt the everyday average of working American people. Just because this big corporation is making money, that don't mean that this corporation is helping the people. You're giving them money that they already have money. They're not struggling to think about, I got $10 to my name. Which one I'm going to do? Put this $10 in the gas tank so I can go make some money so I can try to support for my family because I don't have no income coming in right this now because my personal business is going to the shitter. Or you're going to get to the big corporation that's eating steaks and wild game and stuff like that, and all this exquisite shit that they still doing just because they can't take 6 cruises on a special yacht. They can only do 4 this year. They think, oh, worries me about this compared to a person that barely could put food on the table because of the pandemic that was neglected by the government that we pay taxes to prevent situations like this or actually be prepared for situations like this which they failed the American people horribly. And Donald Trump, Donald Trump, he get an issue too. But we cannot forget about Joe Biden himself. He is not who he think he is. People just say, oh, we got to get Trump out of office without looking at who you're replacing Trump with. I digress.
This is normally peak shopping season, but the new numbers tell a grim story. The retail industry shed another 35,000 jobs last month, 550,000 since the pandemic began.
Families are falling into poverty as a result of our inaction.
Congress has been gridlocked over more relief since May. But suddenly, leaders are talking and expressing new optimism that they can cut a deal fast.
There is momentum.
Compromise is within reach.
Their talks come as a $908 billion bipartisan framework gains traction from both sides. The plan would provide an additional $300 a week for the unemployed, and it would help small businesses and state governments bridge the gap until the economy improves.
How soon do you and Leader McConnell need to cut a deal in order to have a package to vote on before the holidays?
We have the time to do it.
The proposal does not include another round of $1,200 stimulus checks for Americans whose income has taken a hit.
It's $30,000 less than what I was making.
Carrie Mansfield of Irving, Texas, lost her auto repair job in May and only found a new one after sending out 150 applications.
We need that stimulus money to boost us consumers to get out there and start buying. Right now, my Christmas, we're not buying anything this year.
Congressional leaders are hoping to attach whatever deal they come up with to a government spending bill that is supposed to pass next week. And I'm told that aides on both sides will be working through the weekend, trading proposals as they try to meet that very ambitious deadline. For CBS This Morning, Saturday, I'm Nancy Cordes on Capitol Hill.
Yeah, my bad. They ain't really talking about nothing. All right, see this dude right here? I don't really know who he is, but he been really on on point with coming out with the stimulus check. I'm not by me not being, you know, connected with him or contact with him, but I know he do good content, and me, I don't do this for me, I do this for we. So anybody that do good content, I kind of like give them a shout out, see some stuff that they do. You know, I'm more of a I help you, help me, I help you. Even if you don't help me, if I see it's good, I still try to put myself in try to put it in a position where I'm doing things to help out the people that's helping out the people. You know, it's not me, it's we pushing everything out here. So let's see what check him out, see what he got to say about this Flo. Bye, Flo. I can't Flo. That's how they rock. You can't get rid of it no more. I said I was gonna do YouTube Red or YouTube Prime or whatever it's called, the new YouTube thing, right? So you can get rid of the commercials. That's what I'm gonna be working on next. The only reason why I'm not working at that at this moment because I'm under a certain situation that occurred. It kind of pushed me in the shitter. But like all things,
Cane's this holiday season for delicious chicken fingers, Cane sauce, crispy crinkle cut fries, and garlicky Texas toast. Then share the warmth with a gift of gift cards. Peace.
Oh, that's what they're doing.
What's going on, everybody? David here, back with another video. So we're gonna do a stimulus package.
Hey, oh boy, look like K Mega.
Stimulus check update. But before we do, I'd like to wish my sister a happy birthday. She won't tell you how old she is, but it's her birthday today. So happy birthday.
Okay, I'm gonna let that go.
Meantime, but the path forward, as Leader McConnell's office made clear to its counterparts, is uncertain at best. Both parties have top priorities that are seen as poison pills across the aisle. Republicans' broad liability shield for businesses, Democrats' high dollar figure for state and local governments. Now, McConnell's staff suggested both could be scrapped to get a deal, but not one or the other. Otherwise, there was no path forward. Top Senate Democrat Chuck Schumer, in a vitriolic speech on the Senate floor.
I'm the only Chuck around here, triple cup Chuck. Matter of fact, I'm gonna let's continue.
Or called those two items false equivalencies. Lawmakers like Senator Manchin, who comprise this so-called 908 coalition, named for the size and the price tag of this bipartisan package, had hinted at progress earlier in the week after Democratic leadership signaled their support. But now some key senators on both sides of the aisle are signaling that a key element that is not included in that proposal is mandatory: direct checks.
If the Senate does not introduce and pass a relief proposal with...
Exactly. See, the thing about it is, people be talking so much noise about Donald J. Trump, about how he not a good president. I'm not here to defend none of that. Never was, never will be. What I am here to defend is, by him being so chaotic, is exposing the people to what's actually going on through all this debris and riprap they got that's bungled up together. And the other thing about it is with Trump, he is going to expose everything. Now we see exactly what's going on. And the other thing that people don't give Trump credit for, Trump is igniting the youth to get involved into politics by Trump saying he don't believe in climate control and all these different things that the future generation like, shit, we got to live in here. So they be paying more attention to see what's going on than our actual generation at their age. Because when I was 15, 14, and 16 years old, I didn't care nothing about politics and what's going on in the government because I felt like I didn't have no say, and whatever I did, it wasn't going to have no effect. So I never had that opportunity. Now in this new generation where you have the internet, you have all these social media apps. I mean, it's not just 1, 2, 3, 4. They have millions of social media apps, and they have ways that all the youth that's listening and paying attention to, like what it is, TikTok and these type of different things, and their influencers will influence the younger generation into not just say their opinion, but open their eyes up to another opinion of different ways, and they get a younger generation the chance to say, if enough of us get together and we can actually make some noise. It's almost like this is a reincarnation of the era back when Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and the fight that they had and the way they was doing their marches and stuff like that. With this new generation, with the new technology, it's just the same thing, just a different format. Like they say in the Bible, it's nothing new under the sun.
By next week, I will go to the floor and I will ask for an up or down vote on direct relief for working families.
A senior GOP aide tells me that it's likely that direct checks will get included in any final deal. It has the backing of the White House, but if there is a deal to be had, it needs to happen quickly. Shep?
Okay, so you see the House has adjourned. We don't know what's going on with the Senate. And
to me, it sounds more like what they actually is doing is taking the people and just, I ain't gonna say BSing them, but it's more BSing them because they actually just trying to instead of letting the people know what's going on, they just try to throw it off on this person and then that person throw it back on that person, and it just keep banging back and forth of who to blame and who going to actually help, right? So it's just going to be a back and forth thing. And the main key thing is time going by, more and more time going by. This was since April of last year, right? Almost, like I said, almost last year, but this year, but it's in December. So I'm just saying last year just because I'm already getting prepared for the new year that's coming up. So the thing about it is this since April, right? That's more than 6 months ago now. Now, that's a half a year that went by with nothing. And Nancy Pelosi could have did something with Donald Trump back when he was still before the president election to give us a stimulus check that we would have been having right now. Everybody would have been having a decent Christmas. That could have actually stimulated the economy because nobody want to spend no extra unnecessary money about nothing, zero, zilch, because they got to take that money and use it to pay their bills. Now, if they can't pay their bills, then why would they take that money and go buy some clothes or something that's not beneficial, that's going to help them out in the long run? Everything that they're going to show is just going to be tedious just to get money out of, not to be able to give you no money, just be able to just push you to the back. So with that being said, let's find another I don't want to everybody doing the jacking for topic like I do now, huh? You see how trends go up and down? Let's see what this is. This is some real news dedicated to what's going on with the second stimulus check. Let's do this. I digress. Matter of fact, let me get back off this commercial.
Hi, it's Sam Barker
y'all know how
here from
they
the
be
Motley
rocking
Fool.
with that.
Behind me
We
is
in here.
Landmark Mall.
We gonna get the second stimulus check,
or what used
and everybody that's
what once was a bustling and booming shopping center just a stone's
should be
throw
long
away from
enough.
Motley Fool headquarters is now a sad.
skip.
Now, after a disappointing jobs report on Friday, the Senate now seems poised to back an economic aid package with a price tag of a little more than $900 billion. We have Yahoo Finance's Jessica Smith here with the details of that stimulus package. Hey, Jess.
Hey, Kristen, we are still waiting to get the final details of that package. Lawmakers and their staffs have spent the weekend negotiating, trying to finalize some of these last minute provisions in the bill. So we could see that at some point as soon as today or sometime maybe tomorrow or Wednesday. The timing still is a little bit unclear. It seems that state and local aid and liability protections are the biggest sticking points here. That has been the case throughout negotiations over the past several months. And of course, Majority Leader McConnell has been pushing this targeted relief package, something in the neighborhood of $300 billion. So we'll see if he gets on board with this nearly $1 trillion plan. In interviews over the weekend in the Sunday shows, lawmakers who are involved in these negotiations seem to think that McConnell and President Trump would eventually get behind this bipartisan deal. So again, we hope to see that plan sometime soon. We'll probably hear from Majority Leader Mitch McConnell later this afternoon around 3 o'clock when the Senate comes in session. So we'll see if he has any update there. But once there is this deal, this plan, it seems like this would be added on to a bill to keep the government funded. Of course, that is due later this week on the 11th.
Justin, on this point of stimulus, I know there's a new survey out that shows CEOs are still hoping for more economic aid, even though the economic outlook is improving. Wondering if you can give us the details from that Business Roundtable survey.
Yeah, Business Roundtable released its quarterly economic outlook survey earlier this morning, and it did find that CEO optimism is growing. The economic outlook index is up about 22 points from the third quarter. So that indicates that things are getting a little better. And that.
Hey, 1 second. Now, just sit back and just think for a moment. Just sit back and just come with me. We're gonna sit back and relax for a moment and think about this here. When Andrew Yang was running for president, if NBC, MSNBC, Fox News would have gave him his justice promotion so everybody could know who he was, because he was building up enough steam that he would have actually won against Donald Trump as well. Now, the difference is between Joe Biden winning right now and if Andrew Yang would have won. Now, Andrew Yang would have been going out right now campaigning to make sure that not just a stimulus check, but everybody would be getting UBI. And we wouldn't have to worry about this scenario or this situation no more. All of this here will be in the past. We will be looking for a brighter future. But I digress.
View of these CEOs. They're bouncing back from their pandemic lows. Of the 150 CEOs surveyed, 74% said they expect their sales to increase in the next 6 months. 47% said they plan to increase their capital investment, and 34% of them plan to increase their hiring over that same time period. But they do say that there still needs to be help from Congress, especially for small businesses. The CEOs were asked when they expect business conditions to fully recover for their companies. 26% of them said that things have already recovered, or they expect a full recovery by the end of the year. 41% say sometime next year, and then 33% say 2022 or later. And then going into the Biden administration, these CEOs say the top priorities have to be COVID relief and infrastructure. Kristen.
All right. Thanks so much, Jess.
I mean, that's true. But the thing about it is, how are we going to do this? How is going to actually play a role where we're going to be able to get a stimulus check for the people?
And it's
now,
so fabulous.
It's good to talk about it and say different things, but we need a solution. Because
judge me.
Nancy Pelosi and
I know I can handle anything. Even
Joe
those damn
Biden
housewives.
don't want to see us with this money. They trying to feed the corporation. You know, the corporation actually don't have a soul. It don't eat. It don't sleep. It's dead. It's just dead weight holding up space to keep us from becoming better in the future.
You think that you're ordering an $8 salad, but by the time it gets to you, it's kind of around $25. With HelloFresh, I'm making dinners at.
All right, she talking about salads. Hey, y'all gotta let me pause this here. Y'all gotta let me know, because I got my own garden. I do my own growing and stuff like that. I know a lot of people have been asking me like, Chuck, man, show me how to do this here. How you do this here? So I'm gonna come up with a little series, and I don't know, 3, maybe 5 episodes. I'm gonna go into the depth of different ways of how you grow things, because I got I could name all the stuff I got here. There'll be 30 minutes of me just saying from mint, strawberries, thyme, basil, herb, lettuce, tomatoes, plum, pear. You know, I could just keep going, boom, 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 boom. But anyway, if y'all want to hear about that, I could show y'all like simple steps where you're gonna have stuff where you don't have to spend no more money on ever again. And some of the stuff you could just have, and it could look like decoration when you want it. You could just get a fresh piece. I had made me a salad. I kid you not. I bought a salad out the store, and I made me a salad, right? All the stuff out of my own yard, garden and stuff. So boom, this salad, both of them, same day. A week later, matter of fact, 2 days later, the salad I bought out the store was starting to turn brown and slimy. You know, it was bad now. It was time to throw it away. My salad that I made a week later, it still looked fresh. I was to the point where I couldn't finish it because I was eating on it for a week and it was still fresh, still good. Everything was on point. My biggest thing was, like, after a week, I didn't really have room for just keeping that salad. So I know I could eat my salads for a day, pick this up, just, you know what I'm saying, enough for a week. And it'll last that long. I was just, okay, all this shit need to come up. So I just got to pull and stuff up because I haven't been. So now I'm in more of a situation of that. But let's get back to, from going left, let's get back to what we was talking about. All right, now this is about Bernie Sanders. And he wasn't, this might be clickbait, but I got to hear about why Bernie Sanders is not for the COVID-19 relief.
Trying to iron out a few major issues for a stimulus package, including liability protection for companies. Some lawmakers are firmly against it, including Senator Bernie Sanders, the independent from Vermont, who said it's like a get-out-of-jail-free card. But Democratic Senator Mark Warner of Virginia, who's been part of the team negotiating the deal, told me he disagrees.
Oh, Bernie Bros.
Definitely is not involved in these negotiations, and his characterization is just not accurate. We are looking at trying to give some level of a timeout to allow states, if they want to put in place standards. We have already, for example, in Virginia, put in COVID standards. That part of the discussion is vigorous and ongoing.
To respond is Independent Senator Bernie Sanders of Vermont. Senator Sanders, what's your response to those comments by Senator Warner?
Well, I have great concerns, and I share those concerns with the AFL-CIO and hundreds of organizations who understand that right now, workers around this country, especially in meat processing plants, have been treated absolutely shamefully. Amazon, I think workers at Amazon have developed some 20,000 cases of COVID. We don't know how many have died. What we need to do is to tell corporations
they're so far 912.
Treat their workers in a way that is safe and healthy. They cannot be irresponsible. And if they are irresponsible, there are going to be consequences. And if we go forward and we grant this type of immunity, what corporations are going to say all over the country is, we don't have to do anything for our workers. They can't do anything to us. So you're giving a green light for irresponsible behavior. That's something I don't want to see happen. But in addition to that, Jake,
I get it.
Real concerns about this bill or this proposal, which we have not quite seen yet, to be honest with you, because it does not address the economic crisis facing tens of millions of families in this country. We are right now in the worst economic shape since the Great Depression. And this proposal does not include that $1,200 direct payment per individual and $500 for kids that we desperately need in order to put working families back on their feet. It would be a real help. We don't have it. I'm going to fight to see that we get that included.
Yeah, it's not included in that compromise proposal right now. I understand that you...
Hold on, let me pause for a second. Now I get a better understanding with the clickbait. I will say I was a little concerned about with Bernie Sanders, but in actuality, what he is concerned about is these major corporations that's getting a bailed out from the stimulus check. Why is they getting this money and the regular, normal, everyday, average people is not being able to get money to pay for their family and pay for the things that we got going on? This is one of those case scenarios where when you see clickbait, but in actuality, I get what Bernie's saying. He's trying to say, why are we not getting it for the people, but we giving it to the big corporations? He don't want to see the big corporations get these bailouts and be able to say, you know what, we're not going to help the people that's our employees. They can sit back and just watch everybody crumble because they have something that's being put in place to keep them from getting sued. And that's what the Republicans want. Now, ain't nobody talking about the Republicans want to keep the big corporations from being able to get sued for putting their employees in dangerous situations that they don't have no choices. Either you come here, you go to work and take a chance of getting corona, or you get fired. If you get fired, how you gonna pay your bills? How you gonna do this here? But if you come to work, you get the corona, take it back to your house, and you kill your family because somebody might not make it. You never know those case scenarios. So you ain't as buying of should you do this or shouldn't you do that. But with these big corporations that's getting these bailouts, they sitting back, they ain't worried about getting the coronavirus because they probably on a yacht somewhere out with their whole family just chilling on a boat. Don't have to worry about nothing until all this pass over if they choose to. We don't have that choice. A lot of us don't even have had a choice to put gas in our car and go out of state just to keep if you're in a high risk zone or if you're trying to get away from things. It's like we have no win-win. What's good with it?
Spoke with Republican Senator Josh Hawley of Missouri over the weekend. He is also saying that he wants that included and thinks the bill should be vetoed if it doesn't include it. I wasn't aware that Josh Hawley was in favor of direct payments. Are there...
Okay, I don't want it to get vetoed. They could just do it in a continuation, right? This is passed. Now, y'all need to be working on a straight stimulus, a relief fund for the people, not stimulus to push them economy, a relief fund. The relief is supposed to be like, hey, here you go, push this into the economy, right? And if they want to even go even further than this, they could put stuff on the card and say, you have $2,000. This had to be spent by April. If there was a stimulus pack, like, oh, here go extra $2,000 on top of this. So you feel comfortable, like, okay, I'm paying my bills. Now I have this extra money to go, I have to spend. So I'm gonna go spend it on this stuff that I might need. I might need to go get car repairs. I might need to go get some more food. I might need to get a dough for this. I might need to get another lock. I might need to get some floors. I might need to get another tile. You might need to get an oil change. You could take that money and just boom, boom, boom. You might need to get some more clothes. It's getting cold outside. Your socks might be old. Your drawers might be falling off, or you might need to get anything. You could use that type of money for those types of things. Make yourself look presentable. Go I need to get a haircut. You know what I'm saying? Getting a haircut, looking fresh, shaking back. That way you can present yourself in a formally fashion. But I digress.
Enough Republicans on your side on this, on the direct payment part of this, that it could make a difference, because obviously Republicans still control the U.S. Senate.
Well, that's what we're working on right now.
We about to get another
right now,
stimulus
working with
check.
my Democratic colleagues to make it clear that we should not go forward unless we do what the American people want. Right now, Jake, as you well know, I mean, we got half of our people living paycheck to paycheck. Something like 20% of our population now is either unemployed or earning less than $20,000 a year. People are facing eviction. Hunger is at a higher level today than any time in recent history. We have got to address those issues. And it concerns me very much that this bill is far, far, far less than the other proposals that the Democrats have brought forth.
Right. You see what they're talking about? They had a proposal. Hey, if you know about, they had this TV show on Netflix called Hoops. They have an episode on there with a dude. He's all about me. That he ended up going to this union that they were trying to fight for some of the things that's going to help out the people in them. But he joined his union to help out himself. He get to a point where he getting all of the things that the people wanted. Like, yes, we got it. We good now. Let's get back to work. Like, no. We can get more. And then he came back out with an even less amount than what they had the first time, but he got what he wanted. That's what Nancy Pelosi did with Donald Trump trying to with this election. So now that money ain't come to us. But with that, I'm gonna digress on that. But just to let you know, I'm gonna talk about some at the other half of this year, after we do the stimulus check and this other type of stuff. I was saying some information about Spider-Man, Daredevil. Man, we going all the way in. But I digress for right now.
Well, let me play devil's advocate for a second, because look, I don't doubt your sincerity, and I don't doubt that this legislation could be much, much better for all the Americans in desperate need. But the fact of the matter is, Donald Trump is still in the White House and will be until January 20th. Republicans control the U.S. Senate, and at the very least will be in charge of the U.S. Senate until January 5th, if not afterwards as well.
Right.
Are you making the good, the perfect, the enemy of the good?
No, I'm not. Look, as you'll recall, Trump himself has agreed in the past,
right,
to, I believe, a $1.8 trillion bill, including these $1,200 direct payments. It's something that Trump has already supported. What we need is a compromise. I know I can't get everything that I want, but this bill really is not a compromise. It gives the Republicans almost everything that they wanted. And one of the interesting parts about it, as I understand it, and I have not seen the proposal yet, but Mitt Romney, who is one of the Republican negotiators, said that over $500 billion of this $900 billion in the bill is not new money. It's money being shifted away from the old CARES Act, money that has not yet been spent. So we're talking about $350 billion or so new dollars, when Democrats originally talked about over $3 trillion in new money to help working families in this country. So I don't think this is much of a compromise. I think we've got to do a lot better and negotiate a lot harder.
Well, you talked about that $1.8 trillion bill that the White House, Steve Mnuchin, the Treasury Secretary, was working on with the House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. The Democrats walked away from that bill because they wanted 2.2 trillion, and they walked away from 1.8 trillion. Was that a mistake?
Mic drop.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Here was a proposal much, much larger. Democrats said, no, that's not good enough.
That's why I was just telling you about the scenario with this TV show. Hoops is on Netflix. Same scenario, but break it down. See, Nancy Pelosi, everybody think that she's for the people. She ain't on our side. Neither is Joe Biden. Sleepy Joe or Joe Biden or Kamala Harris. Them two is another Trump, plus some.
And now we're prepared to accept a proposal which has, I think, $350 billion in new money, and which has, I believe to the best of my knowledge, this corporate immunity language as well. So that's my point here, is that I don't think this is much of a compromise. I think the Republicans have probably gotten 90% of what they want, Our job is to fight, at least get a 50-50 deal.
Before you go, Senator, I want to ask you about the fact that President-elect Biden tapped Neera Tanden.
It ain't shit.
To head the Office of Management and.
Hey, the reason why it ain't shit, because you got to think about this here. They went from, what did it say, 1.7 trillion. They was in the trillions to take less than a trillion and think this is standing up for the people. I digress.
Budget. Last year, you accused her of belittling progressive ideas and maligning your campaign staff. She obviously takes issue and disagrees with that characterization. You could be the chairman of the Senate Budget Committee if Democrats win these runoff elections in January. Where do you stand on Neera Tanden's nomination?
Well, we're going to give Ms. Tanden and I hope, no matter which party controls the Senate, every nominee of the President-elect Biden deserves a fair hearing. All of the nominees have got to answer some pretty hard questions. That's true for Ms. Tanden. It's true for everybody else.
Nancy Pelosi, that's the one that need to be answering some questions. If you don't know about Nancy Pelosi is one of the people that swears she's for. Matter of fact, you know who she kind of reminds me of? If I had to say so myself, she kind of reminds me of slide 7. Hold up, my bad. They kind of did that.
Out front tonight, sounding the.
She kind of sounds like the person that pretends to be on your side, does everything to make it sound like she's on your side, want to campaign for the people, but at the same time, she have this secret agenda to do everything in her best benefit that's going to help herself. I mean, I do not respect a person like that try to pretend. I'm more of a camp of, okay, I'm from the South. If y'all don't know about this here, right? They had a situation where they was talking about these rebel flags. Oh, it got banned and this and this and that, right? Me and my cousin, we would sit back talking. I'm gonna tell you some real stuff. He the one brought it to me, and I stuck with it. He said he don't care, he don't mind. He prefer for them to wear their rebel flags and had it on the top of their truck with the big rebel signs and stuff like that. And I was looking at him like, huh? What? We supposed to get rid of this here. He was like, but see, this will show you who is who. And I can respect the person that say, I don't like black people, instead of a person that don't like black people, but try to say, oh, I got a black friend. I digress.
The alarm. From coast to coast, the nation's doctors holding back tears as they warn Americans that the worst is ahead. The health director of LA County, which has.
You said she a female Two-Face? She actually is like Two-Face off of Batman. Like, he's supposed to be good, working for the people. What's his name was not Henry, but yeah, Two-Face. But anyway, though, yeah, you're right, G4. That is a good.
Seen its hospitalization rate and fatalities triple over the past month.
Triple.
And just had deaths top 8,000 in the county. Spoke about the toll from the alarming spike.
The more terrible truth is that over 8,000 people. Over 8,000 people who were beloved members of their families are not coming back, and their deaths are an incalculable loss to their friends and their family, as well as our community.
Those words as Dr. Fauci says the U.S. still has not come to grips, as we have nearly 300,000 Americans dead, with how serious this pandemic is.
Well, I think everybody uniformly needs to admit that we have a real problem. We've got to own the problem. If you don't own the problem, you're never going to fix the problem.
Right. That's true. But that's true about if you don't own the problem, then how can you fix a problem? My case, my thing scenario is the problem is more than they letting on. The problem is it's all about people that want to be in charge of the money. It's not they want to do the right thing for the people. They just want to be in control of the money. Say we're going to do it this way. And the other side saying they want to do it that way. And I don't see neither one of the two policies,
and it is a
Democrats and Republicans so actually telling us anything that's beneficial that can help us in the fight of this coronavirus. They just saying, oh, coronavirus this and the coronavirus that is going to have you running and hiding. You can't come outside, but then you need to go to work. It's like one of those type of scenarios where I had to sit back and think about this chaos and confusion that they doing this in, because I always say the truth is simple. straight bam, that's the truth. Like, oh, it makes sense. But when it's all everywhere around, you know it's wrapped in a bunch of lies. That's the whole thing. And what I'm saying about this bunch of lies and stuff is these big corporations, they still making money. That's first and foremost. They haven't slacked on making money. They haven't changed. The second thing that I noticed is they finding a way that Andrew Yang was trying to explain to people about technology and how they was going to take over. And if you go to like Walmart and stuff and any other places where cashiers work at, and anything that you got to be face to face with people and talk, that they ripping these jobs away and they put more self-checkout lines. You may go there and see about 50 self-checkout lines and 2 people up in there with a long line trying to check people out. And I say, you know what? I'm gonna stand in this long ass line because I do not want to sit there. If I got to check myself out, they better give me a discount because I ain't why I'm working for. You get what I'm saying? Why should I do this here? And I'm paying them for their services, and they services saying do it yourself. I could see in the case scenario if it was more convenient or faster. But don't lie to yourself and say that it's faster because you can go in and out, and then the people is a long line. It's designed it because if you say we got 10 self-checkout lines and we got 10 people, I can guarantee out this 10 people is moving faster and more people is in a line with actual person talking to them than going through the self-checkout. The self-checkout is a way to eliminate the employee. Andrew Yang was trying to explain these types of things, to us, that this pandemic is going to show us. What I mean by show us that it's going to change. I'll be looking at automation, how advanced it got. Pretty soon, people that do call center workers, all those jobs is going to be gone, right? They have people that getting confused and they helping people calling it, you try to hit the button. I want to talk to a regular person. Pretty soon, that's going to be obsolete. I'd have been to a scenario with Microsoft. I'm trying to go find some things and get a refund. I can't do this here, like trying to talk to a real person. But when it comes to purchasing something, I could talk to a real person. But when it comes to trying to get my money back or trying to do something that have them messed up, you know what they tell me? Oh, we don't have nobody to talk to in person. Then I got to go to the computer and the computer do an algorithm to see if I'm eligible to get my money back or not. No soul, no feeling, no thought behind it. They just do what they do and don't, I don't care for that. But me personally, I already know how this world is coming to. So y'all think this COVID-19 might be, this is something else I heard too about the COVID-19. And that was that it was made out of China. Trump calling the China's virus or whatever like that. Now with China, they is trying to do a power move. This chess, not checkers. It's not about who made the first move. It's all about who made the best move. Now, if you notice, China is actually trying to do a lot of dealings with Africa, right? A lot of these places in Africa, we had a stronghold in. Now, with the coronavirus and then with Trump pulling out troops and all these things, people is not paying attention to what's actually going on. But if you want to know the truth, y'all just got to stay tuned and pay attention because it's going to come out.
Instead, today, choosing to take down another country for the toll the virus is taking there, tweeting, quote, Germany has consistently been used by my obnoxious critics as the country that we should follow on the way to handle the China virus. So much for that argument. Now, to this, he attached a tweet which noted Germany recorded 590 deaths in one day. So the facts are important here. It is true. Germany hit a record in COVID deaths in just one day, just like the United States, which has hit or nearly hit record deaths for 8 days running. Hospitalizations setting daily records. Germany's numbers, though, pale in comparison to the country that Trump is running the pandemic response for. When you break down the number of deaths per 100,000 residents, here are the numbers. 24 for Germany, 87 for the United States. 4 times worse. It is not even close. Amid Trump's denial of a problem, he's got his holiday parties, he's ripping off his own mask. It is hurting America. It is actually having a very dangerous effect across this country. Again, Dr. Fauci.
We're seeing in some parts of the country.
These people are so hypocrites, right? They do the exact same thing, blame Trump. Don't get me wrong, I'm not here to defend Donald Trump, but when they just jumping on a person just to jump on them and try to deter you from what's really going on. I mean, if Donald Trump decide not to wear a mask, this is how I feel. That's on his body. Long as what he doing cannot affect me personally. And if I see people that personally, they're just running behind Donald Trump to say, if he jump over a bridge, they gonna jump. I'm not the person to say, don't jump behind him. But when it affects me personally, I understand. Me, I'm not a fan of mandatory so you have to wear a helmet on a motorcycle. I'm not a fan of his mandatory to have to wear a seatbelt because people don't know the seatbelt. That's only so the police can have probable cause to pull you over and say you didn't have a seatbelt on. It's been a couple of times I'd have had a seatbelt on. They pulled me over and say you don't got no seatbelt on. Huh? Here go a $25 ticket. Now I got to go pay this $25 ticket or go fight it in court. Who gonna miss 3 days out of work to go fight a $25 ticket? See, those types of things is what they do. See, people got to actually open their eyes up to. If you ever heard of Chris Angel, he amazing, right? This what the government doing in the same way, make you look this way and do something over here. So anytime I see them pushing hard in this direction, I kind of step out of that and I start looking in the other direction and seeing what they're doing. Like people not talking about like Trump pulling all the troops out, Trump talking about aliens as this. See, all these types of things, you never know because we get bombarded with all this type of stuff, right? So with that being said, let's see what Moochie got to say, because you know he can't stand Donald Trump, and any chance that he can get to shit on Donald Trump, he will do that. But they are not for us. So don't forget about it. We are the people. They are not the people for us. The Democrats are the Republicans. That's why I want to be a part of the Forward Party. Purple. I say the eagle is the mascot, not no donkey, not no elephant. We are the eagle. You know, we can go with the Purple Party for the Forward Party that we moving, not the red or the blue. We the purple is a mixture of both. But anyway, though, I digress. Let's see what they got to say. Go ahead, Mooch.
Country, what would be equivalent of almost denial, Caddy, where people still don't think this is a big deal. They think it's kind of fake news or a little bit of a hoax.
Denial. Again, nearly 300,000 people, and the number is going to go above that. That mindset of denial and hoax thinking on display, sadly, in 2 of the states that right now have the worst positivity rates in this country, where 1 out of 2 people being tested or testing positive. In Idaho, this was the scene outside a health board meeting in Boise last night.
Right. I mean, that is a good point, too. All right, a burning car and you got the seatbelt on, you get stuck and the seatbelt get jammed up. That's the case scenario where it's a 50-50 thing. The other 50-50 thing is if you don't wear a seatbelt, who do that affect? Only one person. That's the person that decided not to wear a seatbelt, and that's on his body because he don't feel comfortable with a seatbelt and he don't wear one. That's on his body. If he don't wear a helmet, that's on his body. Now I can see if your seatbelt has something to do with your driving to say, you end up making the next person get injured. Oh, mandatory because what you doing affects somebody else. But whatever you do not affect nobody else. We should not have no say in a country that's supposed to be free. Now, for example, with the mask that you're putting on your face to keep from spreading the coronavirus. Now, people don't know this. The mask is not to keep you from contacting or catching the coronavirus. The mask is to keep you from spreading the coronavirus. So if you cough or you breathe, it's stuck right here. Everything going, if you touch your face or touch anything, this right up in here. Now that's gonna slow down the process of it just floating around in the air and somebody just walk up under it and get pow, you got corona. Yeah, that's really what it's for. So I understand those case scenarios because it's not to help yourself, it's to help the people around you. That's the only reason why I don't mind with the mask. I'm not a fan of it, but that's why I don't mind, because I don't know how the stores work down there where y'all from, but every store, people talk about, oh, I ain't going to the store no matter what. This is how I look at it. If you go to the store, 90%, I don't know how it is across the country, but I know down here, they got most every store, they say this here, no shoes, no shirt, no service, right? Walk in the store with no shoes on, we can't serve. Walking with no shirt on, you can't. Now, with a mask, okay, they say, hey, no shoes, no shirt, no mask, no service, right? I understand that's their business. If they don't want you to come in their business without a mask on or without a shirt on, I understand that's their business. But at the same time, it's only mandatory because it's not to protect yourself, it's to protect the other people. I digress.
The chant, "We will not comply," the signs reading "no lockdown" and "no masks." Protesters also actually went then and surrounded the homes of a few board members. And the protests escalated so quickly that the meeting had to be shut down because some members feared for their safety and the safety of their family.
Right, Donald Trump, he had the virus, or so they say he had the virus, but he shook the virus in 2 days and came back 100%. So it's either one or two things. He got that Magic Johnson cure. All right, I gotta tell y'all what I think about Magic Johnson. He never had AIDS, and if he had AIDS, he had the best cure in the world because he outlived most basketball players on his team that was in full healthy shape. Now, how somebody with HIV, like Easy E died from AIDS within 6 months. Magic Johnson lived forever. So maybe Donald Trump got that Magic Johnson cured. You know what I'm saying? Probably some research Dr. Sebi had that was locked away for a long time and they pulled it out. But anyway, though, y'all already know what time it is. That's why I don't think Trump cares about the man, because he knows more than what he let on to. Trump always did. What I hear about people that's smart, they play dumber than what they actually are. That's because you are underestimate a smart person. The smart person don't underestimate you. You know, that's how it normally works. So I never sit there and say, oh, Trump is a dumb, he's an idiot. Don't get me wrong, he's foolish and he's Trump. He's want to be the most Trump he could be. But don't get me wrong, I'm not saying he's an idiot, because he do a lot of things that's strategic. And if it ain't him doing the strategic, he have a team around him that can show him different strategic things and different outcomes in which direction that he will want to go to. So now all he got to do is just make a choice. Almost like playing a telltales game where you make your decisions a choice and your choice do the outcome of it, but it's already pre-planned out for him. So therefore, I don't think it's like that, but he got something that we don't have. And that like is a real cure, because if he can hit it in 2 days, why the rest of the public can't get hit with the same things? But anyway, though, I digress. What's good with the ATL or ALT?
My 12-year-old son is home by himself right now, and there are protesters banging outside the door. Okay, I'm gonna go home.
And in South Dakota?
No. Hey, I'm not saying that HIV is not treatable. We talking about when Magic Johnson. I'm saying when Magic Johnson first got the disease, he still around. I mean, it's been treatable, but it never been to the fact of if you get AIDS, is no sign of it inside of his system, like he don't even have it no more. That's what I'm saying. And it's been years, and they talking about old treatments and how it worked. Now, I seen on there they have a patent, right? And it's a patent about the cure for AIDS, but you can't get it because it got a patent on it some type of way. I mean, if you want to, we could go diving into it, do some research, and find out exactly what's the cure for AIDS, why the AIDS, why it's not public shared to the world. I always thought it was population control. That's why they're trying to, because sex, and if you have sex, you reprocreate. If you procreate, that means more people. If you put a disease to kill you for having sex, that means less sex, or you die from having sex. So they can keep the population in control. That's how I kind of took the AIDS virus, that they always had a cure. They're just not giving it to the mass public. Or treatable. I digress.
Of Mitchell recently held a meeting to discuss a mask mandate after losing so many people to COVID. And what you're about to hear is just one of the many arguments against a mask mandate in Mitchell.
I will stand against the government stripping us of our freedoms, liberties, rights, and livelihoods, all because of a fabricated pandemic. The bare face is the new yellow star of Nazi Germany, allowing discrimination, segregation, and fear of individuals.
Nearly 300,000 people are dead. She says it's fabricated. Where do those kinds of words come from? Well, in a moment, I'm going to speak to a Republican council member from South Dakota. She was pushing for that mask mandate because so many of her friends were dying. Because unfortunately, the woman that you just heard a moment ago in Mitchell is not alone in saying that this is fabricated. So where does this come from? How could people still be saying this? Well, it is because of the president himself, who just last week retweeted a post with a picture of a doctor in Reno, Nevada. Now, this doctor took a selfie. This is in a makeshift COVID unit in a parking garage. So the president retweeted along.
All right, I'm a pause for a second, because I want to. So you saying HIV is a virus, AIDS is not a virus? I always was. I mean, I haven't done all the research about it, but what I know about HIV turns into AIDS. HIV is like the first stages. If you got I guess from what my understanding was, HIV was a mild version of AIDS that could be treatable. Once you get full-blown AIDS, that just means it's just all through your body, is no shaking back. That's the only thing that I heard about with the HIV and the AIDS. That's the only difference that I know, that HIV is like puppy compared to a full-grown dog. Yeah, I think Magic was in 90, what it was, 90, something like that, when he had contracted the disease. I don't know about that, homie, because they have a lot of people where I'm from that you know, it's in the numbers going up on it. But you know, I can't, you know, I gotta be safe out here. If you don't know, I have no mind of saying where I'm from, right? I'm from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Look that up and watch, you'll see how AIDS flow through here. That is ridiculous, right? It's the most ridiculous thing around here. So I understand they have treatments for HIV, but people dying with full-blown AIDS, people that I know, people I don't know, people you run across. I hear stories about it all the time, which you probably do the exact same. The only thing I'm saying with Magic and Donald Trump, they have the magic pill. That's what I'm gonna call it, magic pill. Right. But the thing about it is, Magic had when, like G4 said, Magic had HIV when everybody thought HIV and AIDS was the same exact thing. Not just the same exact thing, was the same thing. And at the same time, before it was really treatable. Because at that point in time, you had HIV over with. That's it. That's a death shot. You were a zombie. That's how it was. You were just a zombie walking around waiting till that your death was coming, and it was coming soon, and you knew it. And then you watch people deteriorate and lose all their weight and stuff like that. Now, I've seen so many people lose weight, and it's a thing about, you know what I'm saying, in a black community, right? In the white community, if you lose weight, oh, you must be getting in shape, eating right, doing all the right things. But in the black community, it's more like if you lose weight, you either on drugs or you got some uncurable disease. There's something that's going to kill you, right? Or it's not just, it don't have to just be sexually transmitted disease. It could be a disease, or it could be like a cancer or any type of thing like that. You have to be sick, basically what I'm saying. So therefore, that's why you'll see a lot of people in the black community, they never want to just lose weight. You're trying to see like you gain weight, because the more weight, that's how your life is a difference between in certain communities. Like when you're picking up weight, that means you're living good. That's how people always, and from where I'm from, like, oh yeah, look at you. I see you picked up some weight, man. You must be doing good, living good. Oh, you know, that's how people talk, at least down here. So anywhere else, y'all might be different, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know. But anyway, let's finish seeing what he got to say about this separation between HIV and AIDS and the coronavirus, COVID-19.
Along with the picture, a message from a conservative blog that read, "Here's the fake Nevada parking garage hospital picture that our moron governor tweeted, proving it's all a scam. No patients, folded up beds, wrapped up equipment that's never been used. They spent millions on this scam and never seen a single patient in this fake hospital." Okay, so the president of the United States retweets this. That doctor who tweeted that picture after losing 5 patients in 32 hours came on this show and said this.
And we have since seen over 200 patients in a parking garage, a place I never thought I would take care of a human being. I was disgusted. And it's about time that all of our elected officials view COVID as a humanitarian crisis.
Yeah, COVID.
57,
My biggest thing
58,
about the
59,
COVID-19 virus,
60. That's 4 minutes.
insecurity that's out there.
Okay, sweetie, I really have to get ready for my meeting.
I need to re-up too. I'm gonna go ahead and
Switch to Progressive and you can save hundreds.
I'm still checking out.
You know, like the
topics. We got a few minutes. It's gonna take me another minute to re-up.
Facts.
I'm still on here, so I'm in the
Break
chat.
through the
We in
noise
here.
all the time of the conspiracy theories being put out by the president. And too many in this country are taking the president's lead when it comes to COVID because they trust the president. You remember the IT contractor for Dominion voting system? She was Rudy Giuliani's controversial witness in that Michigan hearing on voter fraud. She told the Washington Post she has no plans to quarantine, even though she was sitting inches away from Giuliani all day. He, of course, has tested positive for coronavirus. Her quote, "I would take it seriously if it came from Trump, because Trump cares about American lives." She added that if Trump-friendly networks like One American News or Newsmax told her to go get tested, she would. She trusts Trump. And as awful as that may be, he is violating that trust and putting lives at risk. And Caitlin Collins is out front live outside the White House.
Oh, look, did they
Caitlin, the president, none of this breaks through. He just does not care. And the president is essentially ignoring the virus and the toll it is taking, right? As the death toll climbs to 300,000, he ignores that and tweets about Germany.
Yeah, Aaron, when I've asked sources where the president's head is on the pandemic, they say he's basically completely consumed by his election loss. And we saw that play out yesterday at the vaccine summit, where the president turned it instead into talking about their achievements with the vaccine development and instead into a venting session about what happened in these states. A lot similar to like what that tweet about Nevada that he tweeted earlier this week as well. And when he was asked by a reporter, this vaccine news is amazing, but what is your message to Americans right now that we are seeing record numbers of deaths, cases, hospitalizations? And the president said, well, their goal was the vaccine. He then talked about immunity being developed in the
Time out. Hey, G4, I just seen what you had said. Do they have a perfect dark game in development? Because when I last was checking, they were supposed to be redoing it, and I think they was gonna kind of make it Tomb Raider-ish, put it in third person, but I'm not 100% sure. But that was a while ago since I heard about Perfect Dark getting a new game. But yeah, that Cyberpunk 2077. Matter of fact, we're gonna check out a little bit of Bone. You know what I'm saying? Give him a shout out about his thoughts about Cyberpunk 2077. But yeah, I didn't know Perfect Dark had a new game. I used to be a fan of Perfect Dark, but not a huge fan of it. Back in the Nintendo 64 days, I was a GoldenEye. We played GoldenEye to the end. When Perfect Dark came out, it was like, oh, it's good, but we went right back to GoldenEye because they had throw real guns and we were boom, 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 just running and shooting at each other. And then with Perfect Dark, it was more bing, 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 more. You had too much, I guess we would say, technology, and it wasn't. You didn't feel like you was a running gun like me. I don't know. It was something about it. But I actually played the story on the first Perfect Dark for the Nintendo 64. And after that, I didn't really get into the Perfect Dark when it was for the 360. It just ain't catch my attention as much. But if they change it to third person and they make it more Lara Croft, Tomb Raider-ish type of adventure game, I'll give it a shot.
United States, even though that's not what we're hearing from medical experts. And then he also blamed the amount of cases in the United States on the number of testing that we're seeing, something that the president has repeated for months, claiming that we have more cases because there is more testing, even though, Aaron, we know the medical experts have said that is not the case. It's because the virus is surging across the country. And I think that's the concern among people, is what's going to happen over these next few weeks while the president is in office, not taking this seriously or taking the same message that other health officials have. And that comes as he is also denying the fact that the transition is happening. But you're seeing other officials like the HHS Secretary Alex Azar say that he has met with the Biden transition team. And Aaron, we should note that's the first cabinet official so far to confirm on the record that they've met with the transition team.
I upgraded my soap.
So this is what we used to use.
Yeah, that's what they
We're
used
not
to
going
use.
to do this anymore. Harsh chemicals. That's why it's cheap.
Hey, that
It's not
ain't
good
that
for
ain't
you.
true.
This is the
That ain't
best
true.
smelling mail we've ever received.
Hold on. I'm gonna stop that, and I'm just gonna say that ain't true, just simply because black people do not use soap like that. We use a towel. White people normally
Months, we've
use soap
seen
straight to
President
their
Trump
bag.
turn wearing a
I mean,
mask
I
into a
ain't
political
trying to say
issue,
nothing
but
different
now
about
as the
whoever
United
you
States
is or
nears
how
the
you
first
do it.
coronavirus
They're just a
vaccinations,
known fact.
the question,
Oh,
will that
another known fact is some people like sugar in their grits, other people like salt. Some people like, if you get a party pack of Doritos, some people like nacho cheese, got a split, and some people like, what is sour cream? The blue bag. Some people like whatever the blue bag is, I can't stand it. They got the other half of the people, they love the blue bag, but they can't stand the nacho cheese bag. You know, it's a 50-50 thing. You know, you got to think about it. Neither one is better than the other one. It's just personal choice. I personally choose to use a towel when I take a shower, when I'm with my soap. Therefore, you don't drop the soap. There's a lot of different things to it. But let's finish seeing this here with the Donald Trump, and then we're gonna go back into some more of the stimulus thing, because that's what we diving in. Oh, and I want to talk about this whole Pete Buttigieg thing with Joe Biden. After this here, that's what we're gonna run to the Pete Buttigieg with Joe Biden and how he put him in his cabinet and where he want to put him at, and how he's not with Andrew Yang. He just kind of put him on the back burner when Andrew Yang right now is in Atlanta, in Georgia, trying to campaign to help out for Bernie. Yeah, not Bernie, for Joe Biden. My bad. I digress.
that resistance to wearing masks among Trump supporters translate to a reluctance to be vaccinated? CNN's Ellie Reeve visited a largely
I'm with it,
conservative
G4.
county in Tennessee.
I put salt in my grits too. I don't know sugar.
News of imminent vaccines comes just as COVID-19 surges through rural parts of the country, and the political debate is as heated as ever.
And I don't wear a mask when I go in either.
We wanted to know if the same resistance to masks would happen to the vaccine. So we
That is true. I mean, I ain't met one person, not one. If you one of the people, please put this down there below. When the vaccine come out, everybody I know say, hell no. Ain't nobody taking that flu shot. Hell no. I'll be on some Dr. Savior, man. Give me my natural herbs and essence and stuff like that. I'd rather sit there and go to a witch doctor before I go talk to somebody that's talking about some damn take this this miracle cure that they rushing out there. I don't want it either. But you see how you talking about the mask man and stuff. I wish I can get in front of a crowd like that. Now I say, oh, you don't want to wear masks? I don't want to wear masks. Y'all been going to stores. Y'all don't wear masks in stores. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. I want to hear why they, American rights did this and this and that. And then when I hit them with the no shoes, no shirt, walk into a store. Y'all ain't had no problems with that. What's up with the masses? I digress.
We reached out to Greg Locke,
I love
pastor
cheese
in
on my grits
conservative
too.
Wilson County, Tennessee, who says he has grown his congregation by protesting COVID control measures.
We're not going to close our church, ladies and gentlemen, because of COVID-19.
There's a lot of sincere people that are doing their best to put out a vaccine, but that doesn't mean I'm going to take it.
I ain't taking it either.
Can tell me, when or how I can stick a needle in my arm or my kid's arms. Super government overreach.
Locke says he's moved.
Hey, I'm not a fan of all the other stuff he's saying, but I actually agree with him. I mean, I could disagree with certain things about a person and agree with certain things about a person. That verse over all lines. I disagree and agree with everybody. I got certain things I do and don't agree with. Now, with this vaccine, I'm agreeing with him about that. Like, I'm not gonna take it either. It's just not. This how I look at it now. This is what's going on. My sister, she know what I'm saying, she works in the hospital as well and do things right there. So when you work in a hospital and certain jobs, they're not telling you like this. You think is a choice. Let's say jobs. They saying, let's say if you do produce delivery or you work in the kitchen or you a cook or you work inside the hospital or any type of job or you're a cashier worker, right? And they say, oh, you want to come back to work? You got to get this vaccine shot to come to work, right? Now, this is your choice. Get the vaccine shot, come to work, or get fired, or you can't come back to work until you get the vaccine shot, which ultimately means you're not being able to get no money. Right? That's how it's working. So it's going to be forced on people that have to live off of the government. See, that's the thing that Joe Biden is trying to do. He want to make the government be your daddy, your mama, your sister, and your brother to tell you everything what's up, everything that's going on. He want to have total control over who you are and how you are. Trump, like, do you? Now, with that being said, I want to finish saying what they got to say about why they're not going to take the virus. I mean, the flu. The corona shot. Me personally, I'm not taking it neither. It's just I don't. Yeah, I'm not a fan of taking shots and doing stuff because they have so much of a bad track record of this. Like I was saying, do your research and what they did to the people in Africa when they was trying to say, oh, we here to help y'all, save y'all, sticking people with needles, giving them more shit than they had from the get-go and fucking up their whole economy. Thinking about this shit, it kind of pissed me off because they talking about civilization, how it is right now. If civilization would have never been civilized or colonized, I could imagine we've been living in Wakanda where your houses and you living where you live at, everything gonna be right there for you to have, so you wouldn't have all this worries and stuff like that. I would think electricity and water, they would have came out with it simple or say, hey, you know what? Instead of doing this with these big corporations started pulling you for money and putting you on this subscription service for water and electricity, they could have it where water and electricity can be universally used. And they could have had the pipes just steady running back and forth. So it's a cycle. It's just like rechargeable batteries. You just keep using it. And the stuff that goes in, come in your house, and it goes in other people's house, stuff goes out, they send it back out, and they can recycle, and they just keep that cycle going with a water pump, right? That's all they had to do. Electricity, the same way. They have different ways of getting electricity to people and having it where you don't have to pay no electricity bill and just have it just generating in a circle currency. But anyway, we're gonna talk about all that, but I digress. Let's finish saying what they're gonna say about the vaccine.
Moved his services outdoors, not to limit the spread of COVID, but to handle all the new people who've come.
Faith over fear. I ain't worried about some fake pandemic.
I'm saying the sickness is real. I'm saying the pandemic is not.
I don't understand what you mean when you say pandemic's not real.
I understand that the pandemic is, in his mind, is not real, but you can't deny facts. I will agree with say it was something that was genetically designed to do what it's doing to keep everybody focused on in this direction, and it has something to do with population control. I believe all of those things, but let's see. I digress.
Pandemic is not real.
But
That's
what do you
not
think a
part-
pandemic is?
Not COVID-19.
But what
It is
do
no
you think a
pandemic.
pandemic is?
I think we're stuck on this pandemic question.
It's
Well, then why
ridiculous.
can't you answer it?
I did. There's no pandemic.
But what
COVID-19 is
would
not a pandemic.
But what is a pandemic then?
Not what we're experiencing. I'm 44 years old. We've not had one in my lifetime, so I don't know. And this is not it.
To be clear, a pandemic is a disease that spreads across many countries and affects many people. The World Health Organization declared COVID-19 a pandemic in March, and experts say about 70% of people need to get the vaccine to control COVID spread.
It's not been tested enough. We don't know what's going to happen with it. Later on, it may help you now, but in the future, it can cause more harm to your body if you get it again.
Right.
It's not, this anti-vaccination, it's the devil. It's like,
She kind of cute, huh? Look at her. Ooh.
personally, it's a choice.
Some people at the service told us they'd seen Locke on Facebook and liked his message.
Donald Trump won the election by a landslide, and he will be reelected as the president of the United States.
We wanted to know how widespread his views are, so we drove deeper into Wilson County, where there's a COVID testing site at the fairgrounds. We met Quentin Smith, a cattle farmer who runs the agricultural center there and takes extra care to keep things sanitized during COVID.
Y'all will never go to a fairgrounds where anybody is proud of their bathrooms. I am. Come on in. I'm cautious about running out and doing anything. I think everybody's excited about there being a vaccine, but I think it's going to be kind of everybody waiting around and watching the first responders and the nursing home folks, and if there's any reaction to it. Everything here's completely clean. Let me tell you what my daddy always taught me. Son, don't never believe anything you hear, and only half
what you see.
I think it's entirely human to be a little skeptical and a little hesitant. After all, this is a new virus in the human population. This vaccine uses new technology. It's been developed very rapidly, and that makes people cautious.
Based on our interviews,
they absolutely right about that. Like I said, and I can see y'all mostly within the same category. Even though George W. Bush, Bill Clinton, and Barack Obama is lined up to take this cure, I still be skeptical of it, because that's not to say that's the exact same thing they're gonna give me. I might get a watered down version of what they giving Barack Obama, George W. Bush, and Bill Clinton. That don't tell me nothing. That don't show me zero. So when they coming out with this vaccine, they have to find a different way of proving that this vaccine can work for the majority of people, because they have certain types of people and other types of people are not the same when it comes to their genetics in their body. So they might take this and other people might reject this. For example, if you have an O blood type, you could donate blood to anybody, but let an AB positive person try to donate blood to you, it will kill you. See, simple. Like I said, the truth is simple. Why I make that shit complicated?
in recent polling, Pastor Locke represents an outspoken minority. Surveys by the Pew Research Center found that Republicans are less likely than Democrats to see COVID as a major threat to public health, but also that there's a growing acceptance of the vaccine nationwide, including among Republicans. 60% of Americans say they'd take it, and nearly half of those who are reluctant say it's possible they'd get it after others do so. Dr. William Schaffner, who's been working on infectious disease at Vanderbilt University since the 60s, says that in order to overcome vaccine hesitancy, public health officials have to build trust.
You have to respect people. You have to respect where they're coming from, hear what they say, and then try to respond to their concerns.
You know, we give shots to cows all the time, and you do get reactions to shots. So, you know, we have give a shot to an animal and it walk out there 20 feet out of the chute and drop dead. Everybody's going to respond differently.
After the first responders take it, when it's your turn, will you take the vaccine?
I probably will go on to take the vaccine.
How do you feel about the vaccine?
Anything new that has not been proven, I'm not sure I want to be the guinea pig, and I really wish there was time for more testing, but there's not. And we're losing too many people too fast. So we have got to do what we can. I know it's become a political issue at times, but it shouldn't be. This is a health issue.
The approach to COVID has had substantial political overtones. People have attitudes about this, and it will not be easy to change those attitudes.
Are you going to tell the members of your congregation not to get the vaccine?
Members of my congregation can do what they want to, but they'll watch my videos and know that I'm not getting it.
So you expect them to model your behavior?
I expect them to use their Bible and use their brain.
Ellie Reeve, CNN, Wilson County, Tennessee.
I mean, you can't argue with a person that's made up. If he feel like that, he just feel like that, right? You can't get upset about a person that's doing what he want to do. Bye, Apple. Here. Bye. All right, boom. Let's see what Pete. All right. So right here, I'm gonna let y'all know exactly.
Joe Biden will likely make his cabinet picks in the next few weeks. So who's on the short?
All right, this is not new, but at the same time, I want to talk about this whole situation with Pete Buttigieg, right? Now, Pete Buttigieg is actually getting a chance to become of having a role inside of Joe Biden cabinet, right? So the thing about it is why he. Oh, excuse me. I need to give me another sip of this coffee, man. Hold up. Give me a second. Let me do this here. Man, I can't wait till I do an interview with Snoop Dogg. Man, what's happening, Snoop? We in here. What you want to talk about? As long as he got his cup up, he can even drink his weed juice. As long as he got his cup up.
Short list. Axios is reporting one of his former Democratic rivals will likely be a part of his cabinet. Former South Bend, Indiana Mayor Pete Buttigieg. Axios political reporter Hans Nichols wrote that report. He joins me now. My God, are you a sight for sore eyes? Hans, I was so excited when we heard you were going to be here. How have you been?
Whoa.
I've been great. I've missed you. I've missed a lot of
so
friends at NBC. So it's great to be here,
This is
Josh.
more old. I was just letting this play at the same time. But this was when was this? It don't say, but it ain't today. But anyway, though, what the thing about it is Pete Buttigieg, what he came across was he wanted to be one of the people that was running for president and have his own agenda. Then all of a sudden he laid low just to get inside of Joe Biden cabinet. So, and in my mind, what I'm saying, what Pete Buttigieg is doing is he coming from I'd have laid around there and got Joe Rogan. I'd have laid around there and seen he would do stuff like meet with these big business people to get this money. Like he's a true politician and he is a young version of Joe Biden. That's what I do see, but I don't see him coming to help the people to try to do anything that could be beneficial for the people. Only thing that I'm hearing with
infinities
him doing
that
is,
are bigger than other infinities.
Only thing I'm hearing with him doing is making his way to try to push his agenda and make his, he like one of the people, whatever I do is for him. Now, I'm not a personal fan of
we heard there was money
but I don't have that much
looking for it.
But I know his type. And his type is he gonna do whatever he has
when
to do.
You need
to
cash out of
benefit
your
me.
home
Like
and a
for an
simple
example,
way to get it?
he could have did
Rocket
better in a Joe Biden cabinet if he would have went for don't get me wrong, this don't have nothing to do with his sexuality or whatever the fuck he think he is. This have all to do with his personal choices in the politics. When he
Philip Wegman
could
are
have
with
been
us to
the
discuss.
person that was
Great
over
to see you guys.
the,
Good to see you, Jens.
military and stuff like anything like that could
Phil,
be something
this
that could benefit
to me
the people.
is so
With Joe
crazy because
Biden could have
OMB
had offered
is
him. He didn't want
incredibly
those
important,
positions. The
powerful
position,
position. If
what he
you
was going
actually
after
care
was a
about
politic
policy
type position
and
to help
delivering
boost his
results,
career and
the
to
fact
becoming
that
president,
Pete was
right?
offered
So he
OMB
didn't come
and
to
also
try to
had
help the
apparently
people. He
poo-pooed the
tried to come
idea
to
of
help
being
himself.
VA
So when I see
secretary
him a part of
is,
Joe
I
Biden
think,
cabinet, that
incredibly
let me know
telling about
that
what
Joe
his
Biden
ultimate goals
is
and
so
interests
far
are
right.
through this
He's
process.
the most right left person that you will
Yeah,
ever
being
meet.
OMB
as a part of
director
the
is not
Democrat.
as
He's
cool
almost a
at
leftist, right? He's the biggest
at
donkey
Harvard,
that look like an right?
happy
He's an
hours.
elephant in
And,
donkey clothes.
you know, I
But
think
Pete
that
Buttigieg,
what
you
this
know,
shows is
I mean,
that
I'm a
he
person that
has,
think
if these reports
this
are
how I
true,
feel
is that
about
he
me.
has given up an opportunity to be massively
We
influential
do
in
not
the coming
have
administration.
that
Like you noted a second ago,
You know what I'm saying? Because we have to stand
OMB
firm.
does not just focus on
I
budgets.
want
They,
this.
they also
I like
focus
this
on
here. I
personnel. They're
feel like
involved in
this here.
almost
It should be
any
like this here.
policy
Why they
action
treat
of
me
any
bad?
administration.
Why, all
he
this
seems
stimmy
to
and
not be interested in that. And seems to
achievement
be
just
looking
because
for
if you
something which
wasn't
is
good
much
enough
more
to make
political,
it,
which is much more
you think that
glamorous.
you still
And then
supposed
maybe
to be
he
able
can,
to,
sell
get back,
on
shake
the
back, do
McKinsey
more
circuit.
push-ups.
Yeah,
get
I mean,
it up.
look,
So
it's
when
obvious
he
that
was a part of the
being
army,
ambassador to
they
China,
gave
you get
me
to go to a
more,
bunch of
okay, well,
receptions.
let's see what
It
he got
is
to bring
probably
to
the
the
most
table that
single
he
diplomatic
actually
important
gonna
post though
listen
in the
to
world.
people. That's what I was
Chuck, what do you
thinking
make
at
of this
first.
news
And then when I
generally
noticed that
about
Pete Buttigieg,
turning
his
down a
whole
job like
objective was
OMB
he
or
was in the
VA
army
secretary, both
because
of
it
which are
made him look
incredibly
better
important
as in what he's
jobs?
trying to
VA
do as
secretary
running
being
for
one of
president. You
our
know,
most
he got the
important
squeaky
in
boy, you
order
know,
to
went to the right
be an
school.
ambassador to China.
Everybody's, you know,
I
perfect
think
lineup
Crystal's point
candidate
is the best. I
to
think it
become president.
exposes what
But
he
I do
really
believe
wants
in
to
the
do
Bible,
with
and I
his
believe that if
career.
he
I mean,
become
if he
president,
wanted
he is
to
the
really
Antichrist.
have a big impact on the administration, he would have
But
taken
he's
one
not
of
a
those
bad
jobs.
person
But I
that's
think
supposed to say
he
for
is
what I
very
know.
ambitious.
But I
think
just
that
see
I
a
don't
lot of
put
slick
that
shit he
past him,
do,
but
and I'm
I
not a
haven't
fan of
met
it
very
because
many
I'm more of a truth person.
white
Like
males who
Donald Trump,
aren't
that was one
ambitious
thing
who
I
have
liked
the
about
nerve
Donald
to say,
Trump.
not that one.
He would just speak
not
whatever
that
he
one.
wanted to
How
speak,
about
and
that
he'll
one
let
over
it go
there?
bam.
You know, as a
Like,
poor old
oh,
redneck who
aliens.
grew up in
They'll
East
talk about
Texas,
Donald
I'll
Trump
go over there and
was
cut the lawn
exposing
if they'll pay
aliens
me
and all
enough
this other
money.
type of stuff. I was going to dive into that.
But let me just
Maybe
be clear
if y'all
about
want
something.
to
It
see
also
about
shows that he
Donald
wants to
Trump
run for
exposing
something else.
aliens
It shouldn't
and how,
surprise anybody that he was the mayor and he got to do
occurring,
things
but
at the DNC and he ran
without
for
that,
president
let's
and
see
ran a good
about
campaign. So he wants to be
no,
president one day.
let's bring
And
this
he
back.
ain't shy
Let's bring
about
it.
that. He'd like to be vice president someday. And it looks much better
I
on
don't
his
wanna be no
resume
damn
if
cop.
he's the ambassador to China.
Bring that back.
For
Bring
the
that back.
next ambassador to
let's
China
do this.
in order to give him some new policy experience. One Democratic insider said Buttigieg, being the OMB director, had come up, but he rejected it because he wanted a, quote, real cabinet position, not a staff level job.
Oh, this guy. President and founder of Solidarity Strategies, author of T.O. Bernie, and former senior advisor to the Bernie Sanders campaign, Chuck Rocha, and White House reporter for Real Clear Politics, Philip Wegman, are with us to discuss. Great to see you guys.
Good to see you,
Man,
gents.
y'all need to get me in there.
Phil, this to me is so crazy because OMB is incredibly important, powerful position. If you actually care about policy and delivering results, the fact that Pete was offered OMB and also had apparently poo-pooed the idea of being VA secretary is, I think, incredibly telling about what his ultimate goals and interests are through this process.
Yeah, being OMB director is not as cool at Harvard happy hours.
Right.
And, you know, I think that what this shows is that he has, if these reports are true, is that he has given up an opportunity to be massively influential in the coming administration. Like you noted a second ago, you know, OMB does not just focus on budgets.
Hey, I'm about to go YouTube viral. Y'all see me? I'm about to bust my ass. I would grab my chin and slid. I was like, oh. Anyway, I digress.
They also focus on personnel. They're involved in almost any policy action of any administration. He seems to not be interested in that and seems to be looking for something which is much more political, which is much more glamorous, and that maybe he can, you know, sell on the McKinsey circuit.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's obvious that being ambassador to China, you get to go to a bunch of receptions. It is probably the most single diplomatic important post, though, in the world. Chuck, what do you make of this news generally about, you know, turning down a job like OMB or VA secretary, both of which are incredibly important jobs, VA secretary being one of our most important, in order to, you know, be an ambassador to China?
I think Crystal's point is the best. I think it exposes what he really wants to do with his career. I mean, if he wanted to really have a big impact on the administration, he would have taken one of those jobs. But I think he is very ambitious. I think that I don't put that past him, but I haven't met very many white males who aren't ambitious, who have the nerve to say, not that one, not that one. How about that one over there? You know, as a poor old redneck who grew up in East Texas, I'll go over and cut the lawn if they'll pay me enough money. Like, but let me just be clear about something. It also shows that he wants to run for something else. It shouldn't surprise anybody that he was the mayor and he got to do things at the DNC and he ran for president and ran a good campaign. So he wants to be president one day and he ain't shy about that. He'd like to be vice president someday. And it looks much better on his resume if he is the ambassador to China than OMB, because there's a lot of old.
All right, look, let me tell you something about Pete Buttigieg, the ambassador to China, right? That, like how he just said, is a politic move. other thing about that dumbass shit about him, he speak all these different other languages, but the one language he don't speak, Chinese, or what is Umbonian or Hmong, whatever the fuck they speak. You know, I'd have heard the jokes and stuff about people taking a bunch of spoons and ice and throwing it down the stairs and then you know, all that shit there, whatever the fuck they want to call it. I don't care. I told you I'm country. Y'all can talk shit about me. I laugh about it too. You know what I'm saying? That's what we need to get back to. People too sensitive about shit. Like Pete Buttigieg. If I sit there and talk about his last name is Buttigieg, how the shit line up with his nationality? nothing. I digress.
Old Democrats who don't even know what the OMB is, and so they know where China is, and they think that that's pretty important.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
And Phil, what does it say about the Biden team and the way that they're going through this selection process that they would allow this sort of thing to occur where they're just
Hey, I'm gonna do a Mr. Rogers in the neighborhood. It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood. Y'all know about the Mandela effect, so the lyrics to the song has changed. It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood. It's a beautiful day in the hood. It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood. If y'all don't believe they changed that shit, go look up the Mandela effect. We could dive into that too. Y'all know I like flat. I believe the earth is round, but I did a lot of study on the flat earth. You know what I'm saying? They got some depth in it. But we could talk about that shit too. That's why I say this is synergy. We could talk about whatever we want to. If you say Triple Cup, what you think about this? Like you were saying about how AIDS and the difference between HIV, we sit there and had a whole conversation about that. That had nothing to do with our stimulus check, but we do this. I digress.
just going to like cater to what Pete's ambitions, future political ambitions are, rather than saying, okay, we need to get like these people in here who are really qualified, who have a certain ideology and are going to get things done.
Right.
I think that this is like, yes, it's about Pete, but also we've seen this play out throughout this process where it's like, let me get this person who's my friend. Let me pay off this political chit.
Yeah.
Let me check the diversity check boxes
Yup.
without regard to ideology that I feel like I need to check, rather than any actually sort of studied effort at constructing an effective administration.
Well, let's not forget that Pete Buttigieg is a fantastic politician, but up until this point, his highest post was being the mayor of South Bend, Indiana. I love Indiana. I'm from Indiana, but being the mayor of South Bend, Indiana, a foreign policy wonk does not make. And I think that what's going to be very...
All right, check this out. Now, I'm going to bring in my Yang gang stuff with it. Andrew Yang did way more stuff for Joe Biden. Joe Biden was like, yeah, if I get into the office, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna have a spot for you. And if I don't win, if you win, then I quit. I'm too old for this shit. That's what he told Andrew Yang, right? This was before why Andrew Yang was still running. And after that, he was talking to Andrew Yang about, yeah, I'm gonna get you in this because he had a lot of good policies that was gonna benefit the country that could move us forward. But Pete Buttigieg was just repeating what Andrew Yang was saying, just repeating it. I mean, literally word for word. They got videos on YouTube where you can see Pete Buttigieg was taking everything from Andrew Yang and then claiming it for himself. He did what the white people is known for doing, taking your shit and running with it. So when I seen that, I was like, damn. So now I'm on the verge of like, okay, do Pete Buttigieg really have our best interest in mind? So y'all can't defend him talking about, oh, this will be the best interest for him. This could do this here for this and this and that. Fuck all that. Let me go ahead and tell y'all some real shit. Andrew Yang, they want him to run for mayor of New York. He said he will do it, but that's not his priority. His priority is to help the American people the best way possible. He don't want to be the president. He just want to help the people. That's why I stand behind Andrew Yang. If he become New York's governor, the governor of New York, then he could, if that help him benefit the people, then he would do it. Even if it don't help him become president, but it will help him help benefit the people. That's the difference between Andrew Yang and Pete Buttigieg. Yeah, booty boy.
Interesting is that as Chuck mentioned a moment ago, this is going to continue the catapulting trajectory of Pete Buttigieg's rise, even if he doesn't necessarily have the skill set to go along with it. Yes, he's very sharp fellow, but does he have this type of experience? When we have conversations about ambassador to China or possibly a UN post, I think that the other thing that's very interesting here and that Pete Buttigieg needs to work through is that if he has one of these appointments, he is going to own the foreign policy of the Biden administration on the most important foreign policy issue, namely China or anything that comes before the United Nations. That in and of itself could be a political liability.
No, you're right. And that is an excellent point, which is, look, our last two ambassadors to China, I think they did a great job, but Terry Branstad, he was the governor of Iowa. He's known Xi Jinping for 30 years because of trade missions back and forth between the two, and he'd known him for a long time. The one before that was John Huntsman. He spoke fluent Mandarin, okay? Kind of qualified. This is the mayor of South Bend. However,
all right, there you go right there. It's Mandarin, right? That's the language that it is. I said China. Well, I know I heard it, but I don't know. I don't keep up with their shit. I keep on my own shit. Mandarin, right? So that's the language that they speak. Pete Buttigieg don't speak Mandarin. He speak a whole bunch of other different shit. That's not that one, right? So they could have found somebody that was more qualified to actually do some shit. And then second of all, they don't. China, you think how they gonna respond to a gay person, right? They not gonna respond good to a gay person. You'll do better with a female than a homosexual, right? And that's only because China do not play that you have an option and you have choices. Nah, they don't believe in none of that shit. You can't get mad at them in their own country for you know what I'm saying, they laws of their land. That's something we have a problem with, putting our noses in their business and their land. Only thing I think is if it don't affect us, we should not be involved in what they have going on. We should mind our own business. When Donald Trump was talking about pulling all the troops and stuff out, I don't know how much of I call it debris. And the reason why I call it debris, just think about it. When an asteroid or a comet or a planet comes shooting by, they call it debris because that might not hit you, but that's not the worry. The worry is everything that's followed behind it, the debris, right? So that's what I mean by the debris, if you didn't know. But anyway, though, that's been seeing why, because Joe Biden is getting more and more.
Chuck, to your point, politically, probably the right move. George H.W. Bush actually was saved by Richard Nixon from political backwaters by being appointed special envoy to China in order to bolster up his foreign policy credentials. And that's what put him on the road to the presidency. And as you point out, OMB is an actual job. This one is one where it sounds impressive and politically actually probably the right move if you want to run for president again.
There's a lot of people in China. There's a lot of people that make a lot of products that we buy from China. And he could take this position and do something really good with it if he took the opportunity. You know, coming out of the labor world and talking about currency manipulation, talking about our trade laws, talking about how we're going to have to work with this super complicated. In the back of my mind, I just keep thinking that Pete Buttigieg ain't the one going to be in the room making all the deals. And there's a lot of talented operatives out there that we have working for this government who've been doing long-term relations in China. And Pete will kind of be just the face of that and good to go out and do a press release. And that I'll probably be all right with it.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's interesting. I'm thinking about, so the person who actually, of course, got the nod for OMB is Neera Tanden, who obviously, look, it's no secret how I feel about her and how probably everybody here feels about her. I won't speak for you all.
Yeah.
But the thing that she actually does care about power.
Yeah, that's right.
Right? She actually understands how to operate these levers in this town. And so for her, OMB director is like, yes, absolutely. And it's just interesting, the contrast between that and someone like Pete, who just wants to pad his political resume with a foreign post so that he can have that in his, toolkit for the next time he runs for president.
Yeah. Right.
Anyway, I think it's very revealing and very interesting all the way around.
That's right. All right, coming up, we're going to discuss who's attempting to replace Marcia Fudge in the Ohio's 11th district. That's next when Rising continues.
See, Pete Buttigieg, that's why I say he might be the Antichrist, because he doing unnecessary slick shit that nobody.
We're going to have some laughs.
I remember watching Beetlejuice. But anyway, though. Cuz trying to get in here. Let me stop this here for a split second, and then I'm a hop back in a moment. Give me a second. It shouldn't take no time. I know that y'all like, man, what the hell Triple Cup doing and why he going this year? But yeah, I just want to see, cuz says, hey man, look, let me get in there. You want to talk about China, and because he know more about that shit than I do. When it comes to Chinese people, Asian people, I'm so politically incorrect. And to the point where I don't care if they get mad, because that ain't my business. Check this out. This is the homeboy Chaos, man. He be up on some shit, you heard me? But oh yeah, I did stop the stream. My bad. So y'all weren't able to see that anyway. But anyway, Chaos, he had put a on there for with the money the U.S. owned, we need some sense. Yeah, Pete Buttigieg is not one of them. Say cuz the link on Twitter. Jump in if you would like to. You need more than a person with sense. We need a person that got credentials to actually do something to help benefit our economy, right? So while that's going on, I'm going back to this other one, right? So boom, 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 back in there. Come back here. Blah blah blah. Give me some more of my history. This is how we doing this here. Come back over here. You see how I'm making this shit work? Come right here. I don't know if that's. I just played that just to see how we're gonna do. Now we're gonna put right here.
Pete served for 7 years.
Blah blah blah.
Crowds could not be contained. It was actually the largest event in Florida for the cycle, and Pete handled it to service. So Arena Summit.
Here you go. Skip right here to Pete Buttigieg.
The spirit of addressing issues.
Hey Pete, my background look better than yours.
That people were wringing their hands around for a long time. And the hand wringing always takes the form of saying, why doesn't anyone do X, Y, Z? Whenever you hear somebody say that, why doesn't anybody do this? Why doesn't anybody take care of that? And there was a sense of why isn't anybody doing more to build up the kind of infrastructure that'll support the kind of new generation, diverse, progressive candidates, to get more candidates of color, women, LGBTQ, and other minoritized groups, to make sure that we are building for the long run an intuition and a wisdom that prefigured one of the mantras of my own campaign and now my own political and nonprofit efforts, which is called Win the Era, because of an awareness that our conservative counterparts cleverly and patiently built infrastructure for years and even decades that helped them hold on to power for a generation. All of which is to say that what this
what's good? You in here?
Organization has done in a short amount of time is so inspiring and so encouraging.
Yeah, I was looking at this. For everybody, for the people that just came in, and because that they having that Pete Buttigieg, right? There's this dude that's right here that's on screen. He is Joe Biden has appointed him to be over China when it comes to foreign affairs, right? And Pete Buttigieg speak a whole bunch of different language, but Mandarin is not one of them, right? Therefore, he doing this here because this a politic role for he being a politician. It's not
so I know two different languages that he speak in China, Mandarin and Cantonese.
He don't know neither one of them.
No, I'm just saying, I'm just a regular person. I ain't in politics. The only thing I did was 15 years.
Yo, you had faded out. You hear me? He having some technical difficulties. Maybe it's the Illuminati catching up. Like if you all couldn't hear, he was about to say about his time he spent inside of the military, and he'll average Joe citizen, he'll a civilian like the rest of us is right now. So everything that he's saying is his own base opinion. And remember, we are not responsible for the truth that you may or may not hear.
Hey, can you hear?
Yeah, now you good.
All right. I'm just saying, I'm just a regular person that did 15 years in the military. I didn't stay in China long, but I stayed long enough to learn some of the language.
Yeah. Hey,
and
so
the point that I'm getting at is the United States owe China trillions of dollars at this moment.
Right.
We don't need anyone without the sense to correct this deficit. Like, this deficit been going on for years, like probably longer than most of us been born. It's just been getting bigger. Like, they need to start cleaning this up. This country is about to go into another recession, especially with people not working, COVID, and all this other stuff going on.
Right. Yeah, they have a lot. And then with China, I don't know if you even know anything about Pete Buttigieg and his history and who he is. Now, he served into the military, right? That part of his, you know what I'm saying, is cool. But this is how I'm looking at it. In certain countries, they are not fan of his personal preference, right? So
yeah, I did get that part about him being homosexual.
Yeah.
In countries like China and Russia, it's illegal.
Right. So he can go up there and then try to tell people.
I know for sure in Russia, if they find out you're homosexual, you're going to prison for the rest of your life.
And then they put a mark on you, bam.
With a tattoo on your face.
Right.
So they know that you're a homosexual.
Right. And I think China got some
people, and it's true, people are too sensitive these days. Way too sensitive.
Right. Too sensitive where you can't just say the truth and just speak what it is. And if somebody don't like it, they don't have to like what you say. But they gotta respect it and stop being so sensitive about it. Like I was saying about with Pete Buttigieg, with a name Buttigieg, and I tease him about he might be the coolest person in the world, but I don't have nothing against him personally. It's just about what he can actually do, and that's going to affect our lives. And I know by him being appointed, and Joe Biden did that, and him in China, people is not saying the fact of, okay, certain things don't fly in other countries. Like if your religion ain't what if your religion is something that go against what their religion is, how you gonna do business with a different country, right? That's not gonna look at you as the same when it comes to that. Other places they might not, you gotta have strength. Like I know countries, if he come in and say, yeah, this is America and he represents America, and it ain't like it's a secret that he a homosexual, right? He got a man that he with. So therefore, it's automatically gonna be known for other countries that's not gonna play favor to that because they think that's abomination. They don't go for those things. Therefore, America is not going to be able to have as much influence on other countries that's not going to respect them for their choices. And I was looking at Pete Buttigieg and say he trying to become president, shooting out of nowhere. A lot of people are in this country right now is still Christians, right? So by you being a Christian, one of the things that they do not approve of is homosexuality. So how is he going to be able to get the Christian votes, even though he supposed to be a God-fearing church person? People just ain't gonna, not gonna be able to relate with him because of some of his personal choices. And he know that. And I know with this, he actually one of the people that he is a true politician. Like he do things to climb up the ladder. He's not doing nothing to actually help the people. And I'd have heard him find somebody else's ideas, take them ideas, quote the person ideas, and after he quote them, he come and make it sound like this his original ideas and thoughts, right? When we've been around being campaigning this him, and he'll try to make it like, oh, this is what I want to do. This is how I'm gonna do this him. Instead of saying, well, he a part or be a board of something that's beneficial for the people. He rather just go by the old fashioned white people where they say they see something that you do and they take it and they claim it for themselves. He actually did that a couple of times. So when I seen these characteristics in him and his selfishness about his own personal desires is more important than trying to do what's best for the American people. And people don't realize when a person have this mentality, they think it's okay until it slap them in their face. Because who knows what other crazy stuff that he actually a part of or really want to be involved in. Because I'd have heard some stuff that'll turn your stomach that they're trying to get passed and people don't know about it because they keep our focus on things that's irrelevant, right? And even with the stimulus check that's supposed to be coming out, they're not even gonna give they trying to push it away, and then they come out with this magic cure that ain't nobody gonna take. They say, oh well, we would get stimulus checks, but we got a cure out. You can go take the cure and go back to work. That's why I think that's why I think their end game is. Yeah. But anyway, though, I ain't want to get too much on the Pete Booty, the booty boy. I wonder what his nickname was as a child. I could tell it was horrible. But yeah, say, cuz, check this out. I'm gonna get ready to get up out here in a minute, and everybody that's on here, everybody that's in here, I'm gonna get up out of here. I will be going right back live real soon, like literally real soon. And that's because of what I'm gonna do is I'm finna go back and I'm gonna do a live reaction to the Game Awards. I didn't have the opportunity to see it last night, so I'd say about another hour from now or so, I might get a couple of people on that just want to watch it with me, or might go over it and we watch the Game Awards and talk. So if any of y'all interested into the gaming, we're gonna do that. So stay tuned, subscribe to the channel, like, share this here. And if you are if you with the stimulus check or whatever they got going on, let me know. We're gonna do this here. Well, give me about cuz you want to hop in? I'm gonna watch the Game Awards in probably about another hour. Get back in here.
Yeah,
See what Flip and Chaos.
Man, it was something you just said that I wanted to say something about, but the thing it kicked me out.
Oh, it was something about Pete Buttigieg and the relationship with China and how they
all right, yeah, like no, it was something else. It was something else. Like I was trying to say something and the thing kicked me out, and I was trying to get back in, and now I can't remember.
Yeah. Well, for everybody, yeah, it'll come back to you.
Yeah, it most likely will.
But we finna round up the crew, and then we're gonna get to watching the Game Awards, and I'm gonna pour me up something else to drink, and then we're gonna check it out in a little while. So everybody that's rocking with us, get ready for the presentation of the Game Awards. We got other stuff we're gonna talk about too. I ain't this in here, but we'll talk about the Game Awards and Marvel and DC. And there was another thing that that G4 had put in here, that it was about Perfect Dark. They got it, so we're gonna have all that, so that's gonna be good. But everybody is moving around, so say cuz we finna holler at Flip and Chaos, see if they want to do it. Whoever else want to jump in, we might get some special guests, because I don't think we're doing this our live reaction to the Game Awards from last night. Yeah,
right. We can do that.
My Rumpelstiltskin cup off of Once Upon a Time. You know what I'm talking about? Got the little crack on it. I ain't seen that. Yeah. But man, let me get up out of here, man. Hey, everybody rocking with me. Come back, rock with us. We're gonna be doing this shade. Say, hey, come check us out. We're going live on the Game Awards. But anyway, appreciate everybody for rocking with me. Talk to y'all later.